open my heart. I'll take a deep breath. Let the healing start. I lift my hands. I plant my feet. I let love in. I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. I let in my soul, I clear my mind. I'm here and now, in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me, rise in me. I sing to you, I sing to you, you sing to me, you sing to me. Change up this noise, make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me, rise in me. Heart to heart, hand in hand, no turning back, onward to promised land. Do you feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark? Oh, we rise as one. Love's calling, calling out your name. Love's calling. That's why we came. Love's calling, calling out the name. Love's calling. That's why we came. Come on and rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Close my eyes, I open my heart, I'll take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in, I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. I let in my soul, I clear my mind, I'm here and now, in present time. The power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Spirit close my eyes, I open my heart. I'll take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in. I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. I let in my soul, I clear my mind. I'm here and now, in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. You sing to me, change up this noise, make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise. That's why we came. Love's calling, calling out the name. Love's calling. That's why we came. Come on and rise, rise, spirit rise up. Rise close my eyes, I open my heart, I'll take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in, I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. I let in my soul, I clear my mind, I'm here and now, in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me.
Good morning and Happy New Year. Welcome 2022 and welcome to our Sunday celebration. Hello to all of our viewers who are watching this live or on a rebroadcast on Facebook, Twitch TV, and YouTube, here and across the globe. My name is Julia Mattis and I am the President of the Board of Trustees, a licensed practitioner here at the Center, and the co-leader of the Women's Group. Before we start, we would greatly appreciate it if you would share this live stream to your Facebook page to help us spread our message and our word. I'll pause for you to do that now. All you have to do is go down and hit that little share button. Ah, wonderful. At Columbia CSL, we live the truth of who we are through our identity, vision, and mission statements. So please read these with me together. Our new identity statement is, we are a diverse community of belonging and growth, sharing the light and the joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. Our new vision statement says, we are contributing to a world that works for everyone. And we carry out this mission in the world through this vision through our mission, which is, we are a welcoming, inclusive spiritual center where everyone can be seen and heard. We lovingly practice the principles of science of mind in the world. And now, I invite you to set an intention for this week, for this month, for this year. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to sink into the feeling of that intention right now as you open to receive Spirit's guidance through our time together today. You can share those intentions in the chat section of the Facebook page if you'd like to share that with others. And now, we have a saying here at Columbia CSL, singing or listening to music is like praying twice. So we begin each service with a song, and let's welcome a wonderful national treasure near and dear to our hearts, the gifted and often surprising Charles Holt. Take it away, Charles.
This is my Father's world, and to my listening ears, all nature sings and round me rings the music of the spheres. This is my mother's world. Oh, let me never forget that. Oh, the wrong seems oft so strong. God is the ruler yet. This is my Father's world. I rest me in the thought of rocks and trees, of skies and seas. His hands the wonders wrought. This is my mother's world. She shines in all that is fair, in the rustling grass I hear her pass. She speaks to me everywhere. All nature sings and around me rings the music of the spheres. Ooh.
Oh, my heart, be still. Wow. Thank you, Charles. What an amazing kickoff to our service today. What a voice. Wow. As our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, taught, in principle, the great religions of the world do not differ as much as they appear to. That's why we take time at the beginning of each month to recognize and honor the variety of religions as sacred paths to God. I now invite our wonderful practitioner of the day, Reggie Cap, to lead us today in our breaths of faith.
Thank you, Julia. Let us breathe in together as we honor each faith. As we take in the first breath, we honor Christianity as the path of love and forgiveness. As we take in the second breath, we honor Buddhism as the path of compassion and Four Noble Truths. As we take in the third breath, we honor Judaism as the path of ethical living through sacred law. As we take in the fourth breath, we honor Baha'i as the path of unity and peace. As we take in the fifth breath, we honor Islam as the path of surrendering to the will of God as the highest calling. As we take in the sixth breath, we honor Confucianism as the path of deliberate tradition. As we take in the seventh breath, we honor Taoism as the path of harmony and balance. As we take in the eighth breath, we honor Native American tradition as the path that recognizes and honors spirit in all of creation. As we take in the ninth breath, we honor Shintoism as the path of optimism and the inherent goodness of humanity. As we take in the 10th breath, we honor Hinduism as the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. As we take in the 11th breath, we honor Akan as the path that honors the divine, ancestors, and nature. As we take in the 12th breath, we honor our own faith, the science of mind, as the path of adherence to universal spiritual law and transformation through the commitment to our spiritual practices. And as we take in the final breath, we invite you to hold sacred any and all faiths in all their multiplicity by knowing love as the highest power that guides them all. Namaste, and so it is.
Namaste, and so it is. Thank you, Reggie, for leading us in that amazing practice of the breaths of faith. If this is your first time experiencing the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, we welcome you and thank you for joining us today. We want you to know that no matter who you are or whatever spiritual path you are on, you are welcome here. We invite you to visit our website at columbiacsl.com to learn more about our spiritual community, replay past services, and find articles and other resources of interest. And please check out our calendar on our website for events and opportunities to gather with our community in the coming days, months, weeks, and in the year. We have all kinds of exciting things going on this week to kick it off. On Tuesday, the women's group will be meeting at 7 p.m. online. This is a gathering of like-minded women who discuss living the principles of science of mind in everyday lives. All women are welcome, whether you are new to our community or a longtime member. And hopefully you got the email, but directly after service today, we are gathering virtually to celebrate the new year in a revision and rebirthing ceremony. We'll start at 11:15 right after service. Please bring pen, paper, and 3 envelopes to fully participate in this most transformative process. On Wednesday, January 12th, our practitioners are launching their monthly prayer practitioner service at 7 p.m., focused on the teachings of science of mind and a time of spiritual practice and interaction. So please join us for this exciting new edition. If you're looking for a great intro class, you'll want to sign up for our upcoming Science of Mind course entitled Spiritual Principles and Practices. It starts Thursday, January the 13th, and runs for 5 weeks. Take time to explore your relationship with the creative power and an expanded life. I've signed up for the class, so I hope you'll join me. And also, last but not least, please mark your calendars for our annual meeting on January the 30th. We'll start it right after service. And at that meeting, we will share with you a review of 2021 and give you a glimpse into our vision for the future of 2022. All are invited and encouraged to attend, but only members in good standing will be counted for all matters that require a vote. For information and to sign up for any of the events I just talked about or take a look at anything that's coming up, please visit our website at www.columbiacsl.com, or please feel free to email us at info@columbiacsl.com. Now that we are done with the business, let us consciously engage in spiritual practice. We invite you to settle in, center yourself in this moment, here and now. And find that still place within where spirit is all there is. We will have a contemplative reading, followed by a guided meditation and an affirmative prayer. And now we'll have our contemplative reading.
Thank you, Julia. We had another reader and there was a technical difficulty. So here I am. With aware, awake, and enthusiastic. This is a reading from the January 2022 Psalm Daily Guide, Science of Mind Magazine Daily Guide by Reverend Christine Green. In the beginning, we borrow a quote from Jack Kornfield's book, Buddha's Little Instruction Book. Those who are awake live in a state of constant amazement. Have you ever found yourself arriving home but don't remember driving there? Some days we can be so lost in thought that we drive on autopilot, failing to notice the world around us. When we practice mindfulness or awareness, we are paying attention. How am I feeling in my body? Where do I notice tension? What emotions am I feeling? Once I'm aware, I notice the tension and the tightness in my body. I feel the feelings. I am awake to something more than my physical body and senses. There's a subtle shift that happens in the mind when we go from taking life for granted to being in awe of how the world works and how the universe functions. I'm awakened to being part of something greater. I am awakened to my connections with spirit. When we manage to stay in that awakened state, the world seems magical. We notice the colors, the sounds, the intricacies of a flower, the beauty of nature, the joy of laughter. We live in appreciation and gratitude. When we live in awareness, we live in amazement and are open to unlimited possibilities. Activist and spiritual teacher Barbara Holmes says, when we are fully alert in spirit, mind, and body, we are more than we imagine and can accomplish more than we suppose. When we are awake, we live in a state of wonder and amazement and see through the eyes of our soul. We see through the eyes of love. We know something wonderful is bound to happen. I now invite you to affirm with me. Today, I am aware, awake, and enthusiastic. Something wonderful is happening to me now. And so it is. Namaste. So as we continue to affirm that something wonderful is happening to me now, let's get centered. Let's get grounded and go within. I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you and feel your body supported right where you are. Simply relax. Breathe naturally. Quiet your mind. Let go of any tension or worry. Know that this thing we call life is good, and we are divinely cared for. As the reading stated, when we live in awareness, we live in amazement and are open to unlimited possibilities. Release your attachment to anything that no longer serves you. Feel that inner wisdom. Welcome the guidance of infinite intelligence. Listen to that sacred voice within. Affirm, something wonderful is happening to me now. I speak this word on behalf of everyone here. Please know with me that there is only one power, one presence, one essence of all there is. One infinite, eternal intelligence that I call spirit, that I call God. And I know that God is, and God so loved the world, he made each one of us as a demonstration of love in this space and time. From an open heart and mind, I accept that we are one, all part of the light and love and beauty of God. Any sense of separation is dissolved. How beautiful and powerful it is to know this truth. To know that I am here, to recognize my own divine nature, to embrace the good that is coming to me now in this moment and in every moment. As I know this truth for myself, I know this truth for each and every one of us. I feel the collective consciousness of the world expressing as love, and I am grateful to know this truth. In this new year, we take an opportunity to start fresh, being aware, awake, and enthusiastic. We start from peace, from forgiveness, from understanding. As we move through this day, every thought, every word, every deed starts from a place of grace, with curiosity and expectancy for good. We release any need for judgment. We remember that God is our source, God has our back, and all is well. We go through life in wonder and amazement, knowing that there is an unlimited potential for good this day. And so what I know is this service is blessed and is a blessing. The music, the message, it's all transformational and uplifting. And we are grateful to be here, grateful to be part of it, grateful for this knowing and this philosophy. Grateful to be part of this beautiful community we call Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. And so we just give great thanks for all of it. We release this word in gratitude, knowing that God's got our back. We are supported and loved. And the universe simply takes this word and the law makes it so in even greater ways than we could ever imagine. We simply let go and allow it to be so. And so it is. Amen.
Wow. And so it is. Reggie, what an amazing, powerful spiritual practice. Thank you for that. And thank you, Don, for selecting the reading. And thank you, Reggie, for jumping in when Don had technical issues. So what a beautiful, beautiful practice. In this spiritual community, our practitioners and ministers are eager to know the truth with you and for you. Feel free to email your prayer request or your request for counseling to prayer@columbiacsl.com so we can hold your truth and know your truth in prayer throughout the week. And now it's my pleasure to once again introduce the lovely Charles Holt.
I'm tired of the guilt that brings me pain. Now is it time for me to let go of the shame, the past behind me. I see anew. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. ready for my change. I'm ready for my change.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you, Charles Holt. What an amazing gift. Wow. What an amazing service this is so far. Powerful, powerful. And now we move on to the best part, the main course, if you will. It's my pleasure to introduce our interim senior minister, Reverend Dr. Nadene Rogers, with today's message entitled, I Know Nothing. What If? Dr. Nadene?
Well, good morning, Columbia CSL. You are beautiful souls, one and all, near and far. And welcome to your first Sunday in 2022. Now, most of us, as Charles just sang, are ready for a change. You know, it's a time for many to set new directions, set themselves straight with thoughts anew, and a change up in behaviors, and for some, even lifestyles. And for others to simply meet life fully where they are in it, to seize the moment, if you will, however it comes. So wherever you are this day, may you seek to be more of who you are rather than seek to know more. As infinite spiritual intelligence sourced within you is quite capable of leading you forward to the truth of all life and the truth of who you are, guiding you to the best ways to move about in your life. 2021. Wow. I'm sure some of you have different ways to describe it. I'm going to just say, wow. What did you discover about yourself? And how are you choosing to apply what was revealed as you move forward? Now, does this question require you to know more? No, it does not. It requires you to step up, step out in your expression of truth, communicate this truth, and be open to shifting your views on this truth. I realize that factually, this world is dancing a dance to some all too familiar, and to others, I would say unidentifiable. But nevertheless, the foundational principle of the science of mind teaching is key. Change your mind, change your life. Now, while we all know that knowledge is power, we are coming to understand that imagination is greater than knowledge, for it makes out of us an original thinker rather than an automatic responder. When we cease to rein in our imagination through resistance born from thoughts of nonsense, we begin to open and allow the source of all supply, the spiritual intelligence we were born from and with, become the light at the end of our tunnel. You know, our soul's hunger and thirst for deep intimacy with life, fuller expression and therefore experience with the nature of God, as peaceful, joyful, harmonious states of being, becomes everything that really matters. This is the spiritual seeker's quest, one in which we all share, no matter the diverse labels we place on faith traditions. Can we enter into this new year from beginner's mind, not needing to lead with knowledge, not attaching our identity to what we know, but rather how we choose to be? I know nothing. Don't they say that? The more I know, the less I know. It's a little different. We're stating right at ground zero, I know nothing. Why? Because what I am is not predicated on a state of knowing. It is predicated on a state of being from which knowledge is attained. Eckhart Tolle said, become at ease with the state of not knowing. This takes you beyond mind, because the mind is always trying to conclude and interpret. It is afraid of not knowing. So when you can be at ease with not knowing, you have already gone beyond the mind. Now, some might say, well, why would I want to do that? When he speaks of going beyond the mind, he's speaking of the thoughts of our individual minds, right? The knowledge part of our mind. And he is suggesting we move into the vastness of potential in the storehouse of the one mind. So we begin this month of January, exploring the theme, Living Everyday Wonder. And I would like us to consider the value of the idea that we know nothing. Because if we don't know anything, then obviously the next question comes to us, well, then what if? If I have nothing to hold on to grasp onto, to recite, to fall back on, then what? So what if? Today also marks the tradition of reviewing the Introduction of the Science of Mind text, which addresses these four concepts: the thing itself, what it does, how it works, and how to use it. Its author, Dr. Ernest Holmes, states that there is a power for good in the universe and we can use it. So let us walk together in this review over this month and gain new insights as to how to learn to move into a state of being and let it use us. In these recent days that we've experienced between the holiday of Christmas and New Year's, our adult brains hopefully took advantage of the opportunity for a much needed rest. The most powerful somethings emerge from a space of no thing. Like the empty rice bowl, often referred to in Eastern philosophies, it is a space left empty for the Tao to fill. We also say God does not know a void. Right? If we let it in, it will be there. The empty rice bowl is what in Zen Buddhism is referred to as the beginner's mind, when ideas and images from the past are let go, thus making way for synapses and connections in the present that would not otherwise be possible. Be ye as a little child is much the same concept, with the consciousness of children so powerfully present because they have no past to drag along with them. They know that they don't know, which makes them what? Teachable. So having a beginner's mind is akin to becoming an original thinker and asks of us to live more intimately with our state of being than with our fixation on the need to know. It is a prime opportunity for us to make sense of the chaos and challenges of 2021, which serve to untether us from who we believed we were and establish in mind who we choose to be. Who are we becoming asks us to be nimble, flexible, curious, and innovative. Knowing how everything can shift at a moment's notice, we are aware that there is a point to planning and also a point to unplanning. What transpires in the space between these two choices is the renewing of mind through awakening to everyday wonder and to a malleable substance we call God, waiting for our inspiration to form. Now, to start with Dr. Holmes' thoughts on the thing itself, the workings of the unseen and unknowable, variously called mind, spirit, first cause, being, or God, would set a good intention and a good brick and mortar foundation upon which to live more curiously, to be able to ask what if at any point. As we study the thing itself, the first chapter in the Introduction of the Science of Mind text, we see that oneness, wholeness, completeness, and infiniteness is the quality of existence. And therein lies the cosmic assurance of corresponding effects within our own individual worlds of choice. The power of thought is a natural principle. All of us share unlimited access to mind, the infinite curative power of the universe. And that power, a natural law, can operate only through our minds. It is obedient to our expectations, and it manifests exactly as we think and believe. So if you want to change any condition in your life, then give the law new instructions, wrote Ernest Holmes. Through affirming and accepting the innate excellence of any circumstance, we can channel this generative energy. Our individual welfare rests neither in our luck nor in our hands, but in our minds. So what's going to shift us? It's a much more evolved state of consciousness, a shift in our thinking that takes us beyond our mind, as Eckhart Tolle said, in which houses the judgment, the blame, the fear, and the negativity that stands like shadows before the light. Desmond Tutu, South Africa's Nobel Peace Prize winning activist for racial justice and LGBTQIA rights. He was a retired Anglican Archbishop of Cape Town. And as we all know, he died at the age of 90. And he died on Sunday, December 26th, 2021, which was the first day of the celebration of Kwanzaa. An uncompromising foe of apartheid. South Africa's brutal regime of oppression against the Black majority. Desmond Tutu worked tirelessly, but non-violently, for its downfall. In July 2015, Tutu renewed his 1955 wedding vows with his wife Leah, and they were surrounded by their 4 children. He said, "You can see that we follow the biblical injunction. We multiplied and we were fruitful." But all of us here want to say thank you. This is him speaking to his congregation. He said, "We knew that without you, we are nothing. Without the infinite intelligence, the source back of all creation, whispering or shouting in our ears, we knew nothing and we are nothing." So when I come back to the basics, these wonderful 4 chapters in the text, I like to remind myself of the meaning of living a spiritual life, which has grown out of many what-if questions around my life, but also around traditional religion. I think it's a good place to start for the first conversation in January. Some often are not clear about the difference between religion and spirituality, at least in the context that the science of mind teaches it, or that we call metaphysics. So spirituality recognizes that our role in life has a greater value than what we do every day. It can relieve us from dependence on material things and help us to understand our life's greater purpose. Spirituality can also be used as a way of coping with change or uncertainty. Nonetheless, the power of religious belief has shaped our history over many centuries. Under many regimes, religion was a form of social control to prevent any deviation from authoritarian orthodoxy. And this social control was abetted by a poor standard of education about non-worldly matters. Now, such matters were often explained within an extremely rigid context of complete obedience, and human minds were less than free to ponder and question alleged truth than is the case in today's highly developed climate of learning and knowledge. However, there has always existed within human beings an innate spirituality, which, amongst other outcomes, has led to a better understanding of morality and ethics. Now, the word spirituality in early Christianity refers to an orientation toward the Holy Spirit and broadened during late medieval times to include other mental aspects of life. Now, in more modern times, the term spread to other religions and also expanded to refer to a wider range of experiences, including esoteric traditions and various religious traditions. The modern usage tends to refer to spirituality as a subjective experience, not of knowledge, but a subjective experience of the deepest values and meanings by which people live. Human beings no longer need to live in awe of some imagined deity, as we have for countless generations, during which terrible atrocities have been committed in the name of some allegedly compassionate divine being. Instead, to be profoundly spiritual is to develop and maintain a kind of caring and kind, empathetic way of living without conforming to a driving need to take up some kind of religious persuasion. Some religions, though, fool themselves when they fail to see that personal behavior, ethics, and morality all dwell in the domain of the individual, the oneself. So it's important to understand the meaning and nature of spirituality so as to keep it free from the influences of the suppositions imposed on by religion. The principle is penned tellingly in English poet William Ernest Henley's Invictus, isn't it? I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. So how do we come to this place of great communion with the Great Spirit? Beginner's mind, which beckons us to be free, to ask the right questions, starting with what if, not how or why or when. First, we must create our evolutionary vision by gaining clarity from the question, what if? Not what was. And then mindfully join in its dance to completion. As Dr. Ernest Holmes taught, living a spiritual life, the study of life and the nature of the natural laws of life as they apply to the individual and his or her relationship with the whole universal scheme of things. He says that every person has spirituality. Whatever moves or expresses your spirit or inner energy is a part of your spirituality. In some senses, your spirituality is expressed in every aspect of your personal and public life. It is just part of who you are, woven into and expressed through every thought, feeling, and action. Now, there are many definitions of spirituality, and any of them can be helpful in understanding this important yet often mysterious part of life. Ultimately, none of them captures the whole reality, but what becomes clear is that spirituality has these core elements. Firstly, finding or making some kind of meaning in your life. Everyone deals with issues such as identity, suffering, and hope. And what makes such issues spiritual is that they raise questions about the meaning of life, life in general, and our life in particular. Our spirituality is shaped by the answers that we give to these questions. Secondly, learning to live in relationships. Ah, yes. Consider your relationships with yourself first, with others, with the natural world, with the human-shaped world, and with the transcendent dimension. The third is healthy spirituality gives a sense of peace, wholeness, and balance among the physical, the emotional, the social, and spiritual aspects of our lives. However, for most people, the path to such spirituality passes through struggles and suffering, and often includes experiences that are frightening and painful. In these experiences, we may struggle with questions such as these, not once, but many times over. What do people think of me? Where do I belong? How can I effectively express my love or anger? What does it mean to be true to myself? What does my future hold? And what does dying and death mean to me? Fears and the suffering that accompanies them will always be a part of life because unknowns are also a part of life. However, fears do not need to cause panic. They can be viewed as invitations to open ourselves to the resources and depths of our spirit, to the support and love of others who are also struggling to live meaningful and purposeful lives, and to the larger spiritual realm that is beyond our mind, beyond us. Opening ourselves in this way can help us to live with hope, meaning, and purpose, and inner peace in the midst of whatever circumstances we find ourselves in. And remember, evolution never tarries backwards, and we cannot be pulled back now. There is nowhere to hide from the power and presence of the one life, which fuels our very breath, our every thought, and is right alongside our every question. Albert Einstein once said the important thing is to not stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reasons for existing. So what's to be done with questions that seem too weird to ask, but still come to us at the night when we're trying to fall asleep? That's right. These are the most interesting ones. So what if, with a beginner's mind, we lay down our yeah buts, align with the nature of the thing itself, and springboard into expansive, unlimited living? What then? Asking questions, the deeper questions, can be motivated by fear, but also by our innate sense of curiosity on the path to self-actualization. Some ask questions silently in contemplation, during communion with nature, or in spiritual practice. And some just ask out loud a lot, all the time. Know anyone like that? I've never had children, but I've been around more than my share. And inquisitive, imaginative, creative thinkers they are, I'll say. I remember being in a retreat weekend with Neil Donald Walsh, who wrote Conversations with God. And one of the processes he used was asking the question, what would happen? What if? What would happen then? He would zero in on one person and use them to make his point, which was that whenever the person answered the question, what if, Donald would repeat, I hear you, and what if? This would lead the person to uncover deeper truth, the deeper truth of their action or behavior, and ultimately their belief pattern that had them live their lives automatically, not spontaneously. So what if we admit we know nothing? What if we start from there, the beginner's mind, see with fresh eyes, and ask with those fresh eyes, and know weight of the past, and ask those difficult questions, right? What if we do that and nothing changes? Is that possible? No. As consciousness is both involution and evolution, so you can't have one without the other. This is the true meaning of embodiment, which only happens when outward expression is intentionally implemented within mind. I know that living from a state of being asks us to admit that we do not know, and can make us feel out of step, out of balance, and more beside ourselves than we can remember. But remaining truly beside ourselves, moving from the idealized self to the real self, or the state of knowledge to the state of being in which knowingness is intuited and guided, is present mind awareness. And it brings to us the acceptance and gratitude and the stability within the connection of all things seen and unseen. Now, when we choose the spiritual path, oh my, it's strewn with attainments of certain ideals, such as nirvana, enlightenment, spiritual transcendence, and the like. The actual state of being sought after refers to a perceived experience of the sacred that affects our perception, self-perception, our feelings, our goals, and ability to transcend our difficulties. We can get so caught up in seeking But it's good to remember that it is in this moment right now which exists the infinite creative power waiting to be expressed. We needn't reach for more knowledge to make it so. We only need to activate the law of mind with clarity of intention and mental resolve. Living everyday wonder in this state of being is natural. Curiosity, awe, spontaneity, playfulness, and adventure is what takes us to the real self, where intimacy and harmonious oneness with life is the logical sequential outcome. Is curiosity cultivated by thinking outside the box? Well, many would say yes. I say heavens no. 'Cause your measurement is the box. It is moving from a new thought to us and the courage to take action toward it into no thought. It is moving from new thought into no thought. Increasing our space for no thought, ever opening to the divine guidance of our innate spiritual intelligence. So what if we keep advancing on the path of right consciousness, releasing us from the self-created prison of limitation? What does a new year really mean to us then? It certainly doesn't mean bringing our old self forward with a dash of more optimism and hope than seconds before the clock struck midnight on December 31st. What if a new year means giving in to our divine urge, as Dr. Holmes refers to it? He says there's a divine urge within everyone to know more, to be more, and express more. And I have found that this thing we are searching for is the thing we are searching with. He continues to say, out there in the vast reaches of outer space, and here in the equally vast reaches of inner space, everything is in order. Our task is to begin to understand that the universal mind is resident everywhere, that thing itself, and also of necessity within us. Our prayer is that the truth be made known, that it cannot fail to be revealed. Holmes said that the divine creative urge within us, the thing itself, is the miracle. Now, I know it is not easy to welcome in the darkness, to even seek it, the mystery, nor is it that easy to welcome in the light, even when we find it. But nevertheless, we are born with a compelling divine creative urge to scour the ends of this earth and of our soul, trying to satiate that hunger. But you know, still we shall never feel quite full enough, because life is infinite potential becoming. So what if this new year we had the same willingness to radically let go our idealized self as did Jesus in his willingness to die so that the kingdom may come? What if? Well, we would live out our vocations as royal persons, awakening others to their royal personhood. Jesus said those that save their life shall lose it, and those that lose their life shall save it. So the decision to don our evolutionary cloak of vision and our capacity to traverse into the unknown has already been keyed into our DNA. And with the understanding of the thing itself, this omnipresent, all-loving, infinite creative intelligence that not only says yes to our direction, but supports us every step of the way to become love, well then, I say we are indubiously poised for the mystic crystal revelation in this continuing age of Aquarius and our mind's true liberation. And in this state of being, our mind's openness, I invite you to listen to the reading of the Columbia CSL New Minister Sacred Covenant. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know the highest purpose of my new minister is to express God, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as love. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written, wherever you are, whatever you do, be love. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as a gracious expression of divine love, wholeness, and light. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself. For I am inspired to live and love each day with God as my source of inspiration. I am awakening my understanding of my divinity and the divinity of all. I am demonstrating the truth, wisdom, and wholeness of God. I am being an example of caring, acceptance, and generosity in our community and beyond. I am being a light in the world while living and teaching the principles of science of mind. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they are revealed in a way that expresses God and serves the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful. God is gracious, and so it is. So, in adopting a beginner's mind, we seek to be, to live from this state of being true, open, and loving. We live from and stand in the minister we are as we begin this new year. From a state of being. And from this state of being, we are open to clear health, joy, and universal abundance to lift and expand us as we contribute to a world that works for everyone. It is indeed a blessed new year, beloved fellow travelers, for something wonderful is happening in it right now, and that something wonderful is you. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Wow. Thank you, Dr. Nadene, for that amazing and inspiring talk this morning. What an awesome way to kick off the new year. Whew. All right. Remember that there will be no after chat this morning for those of you that are accustomed to joining us after our online service, but please do join us in our revision and rebirthing ceremony, which is going to begin at 11:15 right after this service. If you don't have the link or you need the link, please send an email to info@columbiacsl.com and we'll try to get you the link. Otherwise, it will be in our newsletter that was sent out just the other day. And please join us next week as our own wonderful Adelia Romero continues this month's theme, Living Everyday Wonder, with her talk entitled, In the Beginning, God. And now it is my pleasure to once again introduce the wonderful, smooth singing Charles Holt.
Good morning, evening, friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster. could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. Is that love in need of love today? Don't delay, send yours in right away. 'Cause hate is going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please. You know it's gone too far. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. The force of evil plans to make you its possession, and it will, if we let, destroy everybody. Oh, we all must take precautionary measures. If love and peace you treasure, then you'll hear me when I say, don't you know that love's in need of love today? Look around, you don't delay. Send yours in right away. Send yours in right away. Oh, hey, it's going around, it's breaking many hearts. Oh, stop it, please. You know it's gone too far. We know it's gone too far. We need love. Love's in need of love today. Oh, don't you delay. I'm not gonna delay. You got to, we've got to, I've got to, yeah. Love's in need of love today, right now. Oh, you know, we can turn this thing around to love. L-O-V, hey, send your sin right away, yeah. That's all we need is love.
Oh, wow. I can listen to that all day. Thank you, Charles, for blessing us with your beautiful gift today. And if you want to listen to Charles all day long, like I do, you can follow him on Facebook or check out his website at www.charlesholtproductions.com and listen to this amazing, incomparable music on Spotify. Whew, wow, what a service. And now it's time for our conscious giving. We have just received so much, and now we can participate in the law of circulation by giving back. I invite you to invoke feelings of love and gratitude and abundance, allowing them to fill you and the space around you. And now let us use the power of our words by speaking our prosperity affirmation together. I know that the infinite abundance of the universe blesses and multiplies our offerings, and so it is. We offer 3 easy ways to donate your offering today. The first one is you can go to our website, which is www.columbiacsl.com, and click the Donate tab. Or you can text your donation to us at area code 410-498-6175. Or for those of you who prefer the more old-fashioned way, you can drop it in the mail or drop it off at our office. And again, you can find that address on our website. We receive and appreciate your gifts and tithes so much. Thank you for supporting us so that we can remain a vital and thriving spiritual center in which for you to find your spiritual nourishment. And your gifts also allow us to continue to bring back fabulous entertainers and artists like the incomparable Charles. And we know that we give with gratitude, we receive with gratitude. Would you please join me as we bless and receive every wonderful gift that is bestowed upon Columbia CSL. Together we receive these gifts, knowing that they nurture and support our vision of contributing to a world that works for everyone. And so it is. Oh boy, on behalf of our entire community and leadership team, we thank you so much for being a part of our spiritual family today and our New Year's kickoff, and we look forward to seeing you again. At the end of our service, we hope you'll check out the announcement slides and our website calendar at www.columbiacsl.com/events to make sure that you know everything that's going on in our community and what was announced in our announcements this afternoon. And now, to round out this delicious, amazing service that we've had today, it's my pleasure to introduce once again Dr. Nadene to close our service with a benediction.
So as we enter this new year from beginner's mind, we enter into a brand new state of being, where we know nothing, but we are open and teachable. And so in this, join me. Join me. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside. And all around, all around, all around me.
In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself.
silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find God, I find